Alrighty, hello there. For those of you that are new here, welcome. Those of you who are not, welcome back. My name is Brandon, and today we are back in the Stanley Parable. Specifically, it's the Ultra Deluxe version, which I don't know exactly how much that adds, but that is the version that we are in. We kind of played through 90% of the game. We're just kind of finishing up here, I guess. But there is a difference, because this screen I do not remember. So I started the stream from right here. We're gonna see what's going on, okay? Hang on. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set at 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you are setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time, you've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now. Do I close the game and reopen it? I think I have to. Hang on. We're gonna do a cloud intermission, which means y'all can still hear me. You just can't see me or the game. And I'm gonna close the game and reopen it. Hang on. Alright, so it's developed by Crows, written by Davey Redden. It's normal stuff. I just can't. No, I can switch over. Please enter the current time. I'm just gonna enter the current time again. Where's my mouse? There. Oh. Hello. There we go. Okay. It's currently 1:37. I'm in the Eastern time zone. 1:37 p.m., your favorite time of day. Or could you simply not resist giving me the correct time again? After all, I know how much you enjoy setting the time correctly. Okay, now I'm curious how accurate 1:37 p.m. is. Let's use another slider to find out. How accurate is 1:37 p.m.? Super accurate. You know, can I just say, regardless of the accuracy of the clock, I'm having a great time adjusting these settings. I feel like I'm learning more about you and how you like things to be set. What? What is this? It's good to collect data. I wish we had more sliders, but we've gone through all the sliders I have. Perhaps I can invent some new sliders to gather new data on you. Shouldn't be too hard. Yeah, let me whip a couple new ones up. Should be ready by the next time you boot up the game. Wait, do you do that again? I think I do. I'm gonna do it again. I don't know what's going on. Alright. Please adjust the slider until the computer is barely visible. Things always look darker on stream, so do that here. Okay. Please adjust the slider until the dog and the cat are friends. Please adjust the slider until the number 5 becomes the number 9. Okay. That's 9. Please adjust the slider until you stop adjusting the slider. This is slider adjusting simulator. That's what we're doing right now. Oh yeah. Alright, I'm gonna adjust it to there. Which of the two made-up words below is the most appealing to you? Boinkle. That's fantastic. Scrumtish. That's also fantastic. I think Boinkle is... Oh, Scrumtish is so good, though. I'm going to go Boinkle, though. Please don't adjust the slider. Can I get it back right in the middle? Do you know what time it is right now? Yes. Is the time that it is right now the correct time? No. What is time, anyways? Time is distance, so no. Is there anything about yourself that you haven't told me? Yes. Help. I mean, I'm a Christian. I have to say yes. Will you come back to visit me? Yes. What? I'm so confused. Okay.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
That scared me.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow.
That's not good.
No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Welcome back. Quit the game and then start it again. I did do that. Okay. Alright, let's go see.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
New content.
Oh, new content? What does that mean, new content?
I don't know. I can't get to it unless there's new content this way as well. Can I click on this door again to... No? Okay. There's 416. 416 is a special number to me. I was wondering where it was. I found it. Get some serious spooky, scary skeleton vibes. Oh.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe. As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over. Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
So here's the deal. Couple things. One, that implies that everything we did up until going to this new content door is the base game. which I think is a few dollars cheaper. So I think there is actual new content. However, it is very possible that the new content is just this. And they're like, yep, I hope you enjoyed it. That would be very on brand for this game.
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure.
You see, that makes me think there's not actually going to be much new content.
Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never been more ready. Let's do it. I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them...
There we go.
Okay, let's see the content. Give me the content, Stanley.
Yes, new content. New content. Jump circle.
All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
If I just skip the jump circle.
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
What if I just don't do it? New content, jump circle, jumps remaining, 36. What if I just skip it? Hang on. No, hang on. First time going through it, you just follow the prompts, do the obvious stuff. Wait. I can jump. Can't jump over. I've never been filled with more joy than I am in this moment. I can't jump anymore. Okay.
Goodness, another elevator.
Oh, we're going up again,
Stanley,
at least.
I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
Oh,
Very
very
good.
good, very good.
Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Thank you for joining.
That's it? Oh, you've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to find these people on Twitter and hold them personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
That was a little... Oh. Well, this is different. It's 427. There's no narrator. Ah, yeah, that's what it used to look like. Okay. So they're kind of telling us that.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Hang on. Oh, there's a... Okay, well, same thing as always. First time through, we're going to follow his instructions. Oh.
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it got me thinking about the past, and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special, and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it. Just our little secret. Take a look.
Oh my god.
I call it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Oh my. This is different. Hi Cassie, welcome to the stream. Glad to have you. This is very different. Gotta click on everything, guys. You never know what this game's hiding.
You see, Stanley, doesn't the Memory Zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it all meant something. Oh, the waste.
The Stanley Parable Collector's Edition. Is that what the original... Okay. Science Award. 2014 Independent Games Festival. Sorry, Audience Award. The Stanley Parable. The British Academy of Film and Television Arts is awarded to Stanley Parable. The Last of Us. And that's funny. Good times. It's very interesting. 2013, when the Stanley Parable was released. Okay. The Stanley Parable. Does that say $15? It's also got like some Russian words before it. Can't open up the zone. This is weird. The Stanley Parable by narrator. Okay. Looks like 15,000. Stanley Parable, a Galactic Cafe game. Huh. Interesting. The Stanley Parable alpha test. Smile because it happened. Trip down memory lane. Okay, what is this about? Oh, so I don't play for 5 years. I'm not gonna get that until 2030. I guess I'm not gonna get that one. Very cool. Was nominated for a bunch of awards and stuff. Okay, I don't think it was in the New York Times, but interesting. I don't think it was in the LA Times either.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote,
Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created. Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created. It was Skyrim, it was Persona 3, it was all of them, and now it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now. A lifeless husk with an hour of new elevator content.
An hour of elevator content? Hold on. Can't click on any of this stuff. Not gonna lie, I'm a little flummoxed, shall we say.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice in games, and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It didn't need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories.
So I feel like I'm not supposed to go this way. Oh, because it's blocked off. This way, normally the door's closed, like that one did.
These were simpler times, Stanley.
But it didn't.
But I
this
wouldn't
time.
give to go back, to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh no. Oh God, no. Stanley, it's a collection of reviews from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here. Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Not recommended.
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny! I'm not trying to be funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
More downs. Game is very well reviewed on Steam, though.
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley? I'm not preachy, am I? You can tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can.
I actually can't. I can't
This is
say
actually
anything
quite
to him.
shocking for me. I always, well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did, but maybe it wasn't. Oh dear, what an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure, like I let these people down.
Perhaps the Stanley Parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered.
Ooh, so a little dock
What's
thing
this
over
one
here.
got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button. A skip button? Well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt. Not if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record. Only positive reviews of the Stanley Parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes,
Why are the
a skip
holes
button
at the
we
top?
shall
Where-
have.
Okay. Oh. Well, this is... Ah, it's air conditioning.
And
Nice.
here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you, with just the push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and on. No. The Stanley Parable is a game for the people. And if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll pretend that I've just begun an interminable monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't
See what he
be.
says.
It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably, we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so, now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be just yet, no, until 245. That the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went on for nearly 10,000 years, until just yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say... the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore, by becoming it is,
I don't think he's ever
so on
gonna
and so forth,
run out of
until
steam.
inevitably, we all until the
Unfortunately.
end of time,
Hi, Fun
at
Pal.
which time
Welcome to the
everything
stream.
all at
Glad
once,
to have
so,
you.
now you see... Oh, you're back, you see. You were only frozen in
Hello.
time for a few minutes.
I'm good.
It
How
was
are you?
Plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature of choice in video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice.
Of course.
That is to say, if by articulating a choice you've already made, you bring that choice into being,
Then by making no choice and saying nothing, are you not
Definitely.
simply erecting in the sanctuary of time a monument to every person you've ever been, making
Right.
every choice to which you've ever given your great gift of mortal and yet timeless thought? Or rather, do all of the choices you've ever made, in fact, make you more not this kind of person, and in fact do the very opposite? You see,
Right.
it could in fact be both of these things at once. That you are both
Yeah.
making choices and not making choices, and that they are both affecting you and not affecting you at the same time by
Exactly.
virtue of the fact that you both are and are not making them. Okay, at first I was leaning towards manifesto, but now I'm going to circle around and slap the treatise label on this one. I think it has much more of a treatise vibe to it.
Treatise.
But wouldn't you say
Maybe.
that manifesto just has a much grander sort of tone? It has a mouthfeel that is
That
rich
also
with
might be
ambition
true,
and
yeah.
history. Ambitious history, if you will. Ah. See, now you've gotten me going back to manifesto. Heavens, at this rate, we're going to be here all day. Okay,
Yeah,
look,
seems like we
I
might
have
be.
a method for exactly this sort of situation, and I do find myself in this situation frequently. I'm going to say each word back
Python, that's pretty
in
funny that you
repeated
know like the
succession
whole
until I become
intro.
sick of one or the other, in which case the word I am not sick
Monologue.
of shall be the victor. It is an unimpeachable strategy, Stanley. It's rescued me from disaster in countless situations. All right, here we go.
Okay.
Treatise, manifesto. Treatise, manifesto.
Oh no, this is where he starts
Treatise,
repeating the whole
manifesto.
thing.
Treatise,
Yeah.
manifesto. Well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless display of self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit the rating of their Steam review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Perhaps that would have been the smart thing to check on before I went about this whole exercise of making the skip button. Although I have to imagine that after seeing this exciting new technology at work, surely whoever it is runs Steam will instantly run out and implement a new feature to make it possible to edit one's review, merely because of this very situation. Yes, I think that's quite likely. Or perhaps they'll simply grant this particular user the ability to change their review, so that the feature is not widely abused. Look, I would even be okay with Steam altering this particular review so that it reads as something more beneficial. Something along the lines of, this game is the best game. Let me start over. How about this? From the ashes of depravity rises the phoenix of quality.
What? Oh, is he just done talking? I broke him. He just stopped talking. Alright, we'll skip ahead again.
Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping
Door's
through is
gone.
becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not unendurable by any means, but it's, well, there's really only so much I can ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any rate, I do suggest that we not press the button again. I think the skip button has been aptly demonstrated, and we can say goodbye to it and just... Wait, how do we get out of here? Where did the door go?
I just
Wasn't
said
there
that.
a door that led into this room?
Yeah, right here.
I do feel quite certain that there was one here before. How else would we have gotten into the room in the first place? I don't
know.
think one can enter a room without a door of some sort, or a window or something like that. Do you see a window anywhere? A porthole?
Nope.
Sufficiently
AC?
large crack in the wall? I'll take any of these. All I want is for us to move on and to please step away from the skip button, to go anywhere other than the skip button. There was a door here before, wasn't there? I swear there was. Where did it go?
Go
Can you maybe
in.
just ram your way through a wall?
Yes, let me try.
Is there any possibility that you could, say, slam your body into the wall until enough damage is done for you to be able to leave? Please, I'll take any option at all. I'm asking you to work with me here.
Nope.
We need a door. We need a door. Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really, truly getting longer, and my God, there's no way out of the room. Stanley, the door is gone. It's completely gone. I've looked at it from every angle. I've checked every one of those walls 1,000 times, and there's no door, Stanley. There's no door. There's just you and the button, and if you keep pressing it, I have no idea.
I mean,
what
from
will
skipping
happen.
through time,
I have
then the
no
building
idea how
will
long I'll be made
collapse
to
around
sit
me.
here. And more than anything else, I don't know how to stop you from pressing the button again. I can't control anything in this room, Stanley. I can't touch it.
Went
And
from
I have
30
to
minutes
believe,
to 12
I have
hours,
to know
so.
that sooner or later, no matter how much I plead with you, you're going to press the button again. Why would you? I've been thinking, and I don't know what I can do to convince you otherwise. Oh, my God.
But
And it's
then,
all because of those reviews. Those reviews that I couldn't get out of my head. I just couldn't... Oh, Stanley, you're back. You're back. Oh, my
electricity's starting
goodness.
to go.
I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week. Or 2 weeks.
yeah,
I've been sitting here all that time. Just sitting here. Not a single person to speak with. And you'd think that that's just how it's always been, right? Me talking and you saying nothing. Would you think that it's exactly the same as always? Doesn't that feel like what we've already been doing? Me just talking? But it isn't, Stanley. It isn't the same at all. It isn't even close. Because I know you can't hear me once you push that button. That's what I'm realizing now, Stanley. I'm realizing that I needed to know that someone was listening. I needed there to be a vessel through which my words were moving. It was the... Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about everything we've been through. I've had so much time. I stopped keeping track after a year. Have you ever
wow.
sat down in one place and not moved for one entire year? Let me describe it for you. To begin with, there is only regret. There is only the turning wheel of missed opportunities. I felt nothing at all but regret for the longest time, Stanley. Days.
do I
Months.
press it again?
I lost it all in a blur of the deepest longing to undo the past.
I think I'm just gonna press
And
it
when
again.
that feeling had begun to subside, what took its place is what I can only describe as the collapse of every moment I have ever experienced my entire life. All
It's very bad sounds outside. I think narrator just dead now. No electricity, no. The clock fell down. How is this still running? There's no electricity.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be
He's just back
funny. It
and
was meant to have a
ranting again.
point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough. They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their pitiful demands. But then, he's talking too much, they said. First, he didn't entertain us, now he won't shut up. It's the inconsistency, it's the lack of accountability, it's the unwillingness to examine with an uncompromising heart the words that they are speaking into the world. As though there were no consequences for a lack of cohesion in one's assessment of others. But of course, absolutely anyone can leave a review. So here's what we get. We get these demands that seek everything and are accountable to nothing. We get a world where someone will say, oh, there should be a skip button. You should be able to freeze-step.
Skip button works again. Is there water?
The
end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end, is never the end.
I can only imagine based on the time skips how many years.
Never the end, is 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 never the end.
You think about it, it went from 30 minutes to 12 hours, just times 24. Then it went from 12 hours to like 1 to 2 weeks, which is about times 24. 2 weeks times 24 is a year. That's when he said he stopped counting after a year, but I think we can say it's about a year. I think that the audio just looped. So then it was like 24 years, and then it was probably like 400 and 560 years times 24 again, so a really long time. Oh. Uh-huh. The building is now falling apart, which is wonderful, because that means I can escape. It's not quite falling apart yet, though. Okay. That part's collapsed. Can I get up through that? No. Not really. Okay. Alright. I don't know, trees are going through it. Oh. There was beautiful plant life here a minute ago. It's like air raid sirens and stuff now. Spooky. Spooky. There's a hole in the wall. Whole thing slanted. The button's broken. No, it really is broken. Wow. This was all... This is like an oasis kind of deal. Oh, I can't climb on top of it. Oh. Oh, that's weird.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
That was some new content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Oh, didn't we go that way last time? I kind of wanted to see what happened if I didn't. Elevator simulator.
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting on the Stanley parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
The lights just turned out.
I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever,
Everything's dark.
the Stanley Parable 2.
Oh. The end is never the end again. The Stanley Parable 2.
Yes, you see, isn't this
427.
far superior to a measly re-release with a few minor additions? Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
Very cool. Investor showcase.
Calling it the Stanley Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable 2, now that's an artistic statement right there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
2 doors. The Stanley Parable 2. Saw that. I like that fifth one. It's on the bottom. The Stanley Parable, but there's the II for the Roman numerals for 2.
I haven't quite nailed down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be, but let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for it. I figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really.
How to Train Your Dragon 2? Not being on that list. Kung Fu Panda 2? Also not on that list? Bruh. I'll go this way. Where's my seat? New features. Bit of an awkward curb thing. Okay. Oh, this is fancy. It's also unbelievably bizarre.
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Your name in the game.
For the Stanley Parable 2, I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game. Isn't that wonderful?
That's pretty cool.
Jim. Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this
Gym Simulator, guys.
Just play along. I promise you'll
You guys
love
ready?
it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your mind, forget whoever you are, and simply become a person named Jim.
I'm Jim.
I want you to... Jim. Whoa, hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory. If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand
Mash
the
the
impact
button.
of this button. Otherwise, it's just a stupid button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
Nope.
Now, allow yourself to become Jim. Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm done with this button. Why don't you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on? Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
Jump. Jump circle, infinite hole. Office decorations. Oh, reassurance bucket. What's that?
A common complaint of the Stanley Parable was that it was confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I am happy to say that after much consideration, I've engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem of the game. It's the Stanley Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley Parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting. You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try. Can you feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket lends you an air of charisma as well?
Excellent,
I
thank
think
you.
that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
So this went from like
The
a
benefits
9
of
to an
buckets seem to go on
11
and on,
or
don't
12,
they?
maybe?
All this and more awaits you in the Stanley Parable 2.
Interesting.
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it isn't already. Okay, I'll be honest, I haven't yet decided on this one. I think that in the new version, the office could use a bit of decoration, like balloons. But I'm undecided on Get Well Someday and Happy 12th Birthday. Which would you go with? You know, sometimes
just
when you
a
solicit
weird
another
balloon.
person's opinion, it makes you realize that you knew which one you actually
Yep.
really wanted all along. Get Well Someday it is.
Yep.
Or actually, maybe I should have gone with... No, I've made my decision. We're moving on.
New free and easy achievement. Hang on, I want to do that. Pull a lever, receive a new achievement. It just works. No new steps. Keep
Now,
your
here's
research
something
now.
special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes. You see, you'll come to this lever and when... Okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world who have been uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
That's sad.
What else? What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Coming on this way. It's cool.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling. You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so. Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
I reckon this hole is
sooner
not
rather than later spectrum of things.
infinite. Fight me.
Okay, Stanley, I don't know quite how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite nature of the hole. Is it a very, very deep hole? To be certain it is. It's an extremely deep hole. I don't want anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity. From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're so clever.
This will be the most
Look,
indestructible
I think
mug of
the
all
issue
time.
here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as deep as anyone would actually need. Don't you put this on me. Maybe you're the problem. Look, things got a little heated there. I think we both said some things we didn't mean.
I literally
Why don't
can't
we
say
just
anything.
put all this behind us and agree to just call the hole mostly infinite.
Absolutely not.
If that works for you,
Nope.
then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole and we can
Nope.
move on. I'll
Not
just
doing
be
that.
up here when you're ready.
I'm not doing that. That don't work for me. Nope. It's not an infinite hole. Can't call it that. Mm-mm. Nope. Mm-mm. Nope. We're not doing it. We're not acquiescing. Okay, fine. This is really boring.
Great. Now, I'm very excited to show you even... Oh, for heaven... You see? I was right. The problem is you. The problem is that you like holes too much. Not normal. A normal person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you this time? I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time
Yeah,
in
I
there
definitely
than you did
did.
before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't make an infinite hole. I didn't think it was that not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above. Had enough? I'm positively thrilled. Gosh, how could I have guessed? You're back in the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter. Well, there it is. The shame of my lies. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch. Oh, who am I to judge? You just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Whee! That's fine. Oh,
Is the,
it's not working.
teleport button not working? You sure? Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was working just a moment ago. Try it again.
No, it's not working.
Still nothing? Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley. You couldn't bear
Bye,
to be away
narrator.
from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole, I get to do literally anything else. Take care, Stanley.
Have a
I hope
bucket.
you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity.
Okay. Well, is that sound? The hole is sinking. Chat, the hole is sinking. There we go. I gotta turn my fan up. It's way too hot in here. Now I know you guys can probably hear that a little bit, but it's just what it's gotta be. That's funny. Oh, puppies. Ooh, space. The ocean. That doesn't make any sense. Neither does that. Neither does that. Oh, I fly those. I want to go back to the dinosaurs. There we go. Ah. I like that one. That's us. We're in error code.
Stanley?
Oh, that's no one out.
Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of
Oh.
dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland. But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment. So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole? From the looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm looking forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodle-poo.
I should just put the bucket down, climb over it, get out. What was that? I said Q and it. Was that a button I shouldn't have pressed?
Here we are. Go on. Try out some of the new features.
Okay. Ah, something new up there. Let's go look at the new thing. Bucket, come on.
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up. You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yay! 1 out of 6.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
Where is the jump circle? Oh, that's the most infinite hole. Exit is blocked. No, it's not. Jump circle. Oh, here we go.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle. Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
That's pretty funny. I didn't realize that that would affect the game, so I'm glad I did all my jumps at the other one. Alright, how do I get out of here? This is numbing my brain. If this goes on for much longer, I'm going to have to end the stream and then
you wanted to?
come back and finish later. I might have to do that anyways, honestly. I feel like there's actually a decent amount more, and I'm just not...
So, Stanley, what do you think? Do you like all of the new features?
I love the bucket.
Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience. Okay. Are you ready? Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's sort of... Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement. Okay, yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2. Who am I kidding, Stanley? This
You
isn't
put a jump
coherent
circle
video game at
around
all.
the
It's a
infinite
lot of
hole.
gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait, maybe that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, this is the Stanley Parable 2. Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
All right. Now that we've made it to this point, I think this is a good stopping point. And we will wrap up next time. There's a lot more than I thought there would be. But it's also very slow. And it's really warm in my house, even with that fan on me. It's so hot. So I'm very, dreary, and all that stuff. So we're gonna continue with this next time. Yeah. Thank you guys very much for watching. I really appreciate you for being here. Yeah, check the description down below for more information. Subscribe if you want to catch these live in the future. Comment down below if you have any suggestions for different endings I can get in this game, or any other games to play, or just whatever. And I appreciate it very much. Thank you guys once again for watching, and I will see you in the next one.